be fixed, and I don't give a damn if I get fined because that shit cheap, and I am tired of the shit. Because I've been nice and I've been humble with it, but I am tired of the shit.
Game, her team won the championship game without her, and she feel like she was supposed to get a ring or whatever. I don't know. Everybody is ablaze right now. Everybody's wondering what is really going on with Angel Reese. Has she just flat out quit again? Has she quit on the Chicago Sky?
Everybody's talking. Everybody's wondering. And nobody seems to have the real answer. Has Angel Reese just quit again? Think about it.
Angel Reese has thrown in the towel. She refuses to travel with the team. Once again, the team has a road game. We already saw she refused to travel with the team to Indiana versus the Fever.
This is supposed to be the face of the Chicago Sky, the one who was hyped up as a franchise cornerstone. But instead of leading from the front, Angel is caught in the middle of lawsuits, rumors.
Once she was eliminated from the Rookie of the Year, she said her wrist was hurt. Unrivaled, she did not finish. She didn't even show up to the championship game. Angel, you gotta be, hold on, you have to have some level of self-awareness here.
And a disappearing act that has fans asking the same brutal question, is she done? The Chicago Sky are spiraling, the fans are frustrated, and Angel Reese, the player who was meant to lift the team, is nowhere to be found.
Showing a complete lack of leadership. Complete lack of leadership, man. Caitlin Clark's been hurt. She traveling with the team, supporting on the bench.
Back a little bit. You can't want to be the villain. You can't pride yourself in being the villain, and then you lose, and all of a sudden you succumb to those emotions.
And the craziest part? This isn't even new. It's the same script we've seen before. Different season, different excuse, same result.
The Chicago Sky, you guys are the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league. They need Angel Reese to play in games. Angel, where you at? Where are you at, Angel? This is nuts.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's rewind to what's happening right now, because the current meltdown says everything about where Angel's career is headed.
Bruh, you gotta remember, she quit in Unrivaled. She just stopped playing in Unrivaled. Said she was hurt, didn't show up for the championship game, didn't even show up and watch. Last season, she claimed her wrist was messed up, didn't finish playing in none of the games.
The story starts mid-season. Chicago Sky management reportedly filed legal action against Angel Reese for abandoning the team. Think about how wild that is.
I heard she was at the practice, but you did not travel with the team to the game. I think that's kind of whack, I'm not gonna lie. The leader of the team's supposed to be there.
Fever are 7-1. I repeat, the Fever are 7-1 in 2 years against the Chicago Sky.
Suing your own star player? That doesn't happen unless things are truly broken. Fans expected her to be in uniform, or at the very least, on the bench cheering on her teammates.
She didn't even show up to that. Now she's not showing up, traveling with the team in the third straight season. 2 at the Chicago Sky and 1 in Unrivaled. It is becoming a pattern.
Instead, Angel flat out refused to travel. And not just for any game. She bailed on the rivalry game against Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA.
Chicago Sky, you quit. You quit. You threw in the towel. Once you realize you no longer, you never stood a chance, to be honest, with Caitlin Clark for that Rookie of the Year.
The most anticipated matchup of the season. The one every sports outlet was covering. The one fans actually pay to see.
Being honest, maybe more reason why she's out right now might be secretly shopping her. They're not secretly shopping her. You don't fake back injuries. You don't fake back injuries running from the grind, man.
And while Angel was MIA, the Sky were left to fend for themselves. What's worse, they actually looked sharper without her. Quicker plays, better spacing.
Like she is asking for a trade. Or she's at least implying she wants to be traded. Because at the end of the day, you just never know.
More energy. It's almost like the weight of her absence gave the rest of the roster a boost. For fans, that was a gut punch, because this was supposed to be their leader, their fighter, their franchise player. Instead, the message was loud and clear.
Angel Reese may have tapped out and quit on the Chicago Sky. Everybody is speculating, what is this back injury? The back injury. Everybody's questioning it now. And this will be a third straight season where Angel Reese did not finish playing in game. I think Whitlock is onto something. I see other people talking about this.
When the pressure is highest, Angel Reese disappears. And of course, fans noticed. Social media lit up with accusations of selfishness, lack of leadership, and one word that no player ever wants attached to their name, quitter. But Angel's camp had a response, a reason for all of this, or at least the excuse they wanted people to believe. Officially, Angel Reese was listed as day-to-day with a back injury. Sounds normal, right? Players get banged up, they miss games, no big deal. But here's the problem. Day-to-day turned into weeks. Weeks turned into silence. No updates, no rehab footage, no timetable, nothing. And that's not normal. Even the smallest WNBA injuries usually come with some kind of weekly update. Sprained ankle, you'll see questionable or probable slapped on the injury sheet. Tweaked hamstring, at least a vague timeline. But for Angel, absolutely nothing. This is why people started side-eyeing the situation. Because back injuries are the perfect excuse. They're invisible. You can't see them like a swollen knee or a casted wrist. And no coach, no doctor, no reporter is ever going to accuse a player of faking back pain. The player says, it hurts today, and that's the end of the conversation. For Angel, it looked way too convenient. The Sky were sinking in the standings, fan frustration was boiling over, and suddenly her back just so happened to give out? Fans weren't buying it. They saw a pattern. Because let's be honest, this isn't the first time Angel Reese has pulled the disappearing act. Think back to 2023. Caitlin Clark was surging ahead in the Rookie of the Year race. The hype around Clark was building to unstoppable levels. And then right on cue, Angel suddenly suffered a wrist injury that sidelined her for the rest of the season. No Rookie of the Year, no chance to finish what she started, just gone. Then came the inaugural season of Unrivaled, new league, fresh opportunity, the perfect chance for Angel to stamp her name on history. And what happened? Same story, different excuse. She quit before the championship game. Didn't even bother showing up in street clothes to support her squad. Her team won without her, and she wasn't even in the building. Now, fast forward to this year. The back injury arrives exactly as the Sky hit rock bottom. It's like clockwork. The moment the team struggles, Angel Reese is out. Fans don't see bad luck. They see a calculated pattern, a star who disappears the second things get tough. If the injuries were the only issue, maybe fans could forgive it, but what makes this worse is what happens off the court. When the Sky faced the Indiana Fever, again, the league's biggest rivalry right now, Angel wasn't just out of uniform, she wasn't even there. No courtside seat, no bench presence, nothing. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, who's been playing through a legitimate groin injury, still travels with her team. She's on the bench, helping break down plays, cheering on teammates, staying engaged. That's what leadership looks like. Angel? She was spotted smiling for cameras at All-Star Weekend not long before. No back issue there. But when it came time to show up for her actual squad, suddenly travel was too much. For the Sky, it's not just about missing a player. It's about missing their supposed leader. The optics couldn't be worse. Fans aren't stupid. They see the difference. One star is fighting through adversity, the other is ghosting her own team, and the longer she stays away, the louder that narrative gets. Here's the brutal truth. Leadership isn't just about scoring points, it's about presence. It's about showing up even when you can't play, especially when you can't play. Fans expect a franchise face to at least act like they care. Clap for teammates, stand on the sidelines, be visible. But Angel Reese hasn't just skipped games, she's skipped the role entirely, and the online conversation reflects that. Words like selfish, checked out, mentally gone. People are roasting her, not just for being absent, but for refusing to even pretend she's engaged. For a league like the WNBA, where image and narrative matter just as much as stats, that's a disaster. Fans don't buy tickets to watch a player who seems like she doesn't even want to be there. And when you look at the numbers, the nightmare only gets worse. Because here's the kicker. The Chicago Sky actually look better without Angel Reese. The offense flows smoother, Guards aren't dumping the ball into forced post-ups, wings cut harder, spacing improves, and suddenly, shots fall because the ball is moving instead of stalling. Even the bench looks more alive. Players talk more, celebrate more, play looser. Without Angel demanding touches, it feels like the weight has been lifted. And the results back it up. Indiana Fever, 4-0 against Chicago this year, whether Caitlin Clark was on the floor or not. Angel Reese hasn't shifted the needle 1 inch against their biggest rival. That's not just bad, that's devastating. So now the rumors are flying. Some say Angel is quietly angling for a trade. Others believe she's protecting her personal brand by avoiding the embarrassment of being attached to a losing record. And then there's the lawsuit, proof that the relationship between her and the franchise is fractured beyond repair. Media outlets are calling it career suicide optics. Fans are saying she's burned her goodwill. And the most brutal take of all? That maybe the Chicago Sky aren't the only ones done for the season. Maybe they're just done with her. 3 straight seasons. 3 straight vanishing acts. A wrist injury. A no-show. A back excuse. Different details. Same ending. Angel Reese went from being hyped as the future face of the franchise to becoming the poster child for disappearing when it matters most. So here's the question fans are left with. Is Angel Reese truly hurt, truly misunderstood, and simply unlucky? Or is she finished as a franchise player, done in Chicago, and maybe done as the face of anything? Because one thing's for sure, if she doesn't change this pattern, her legacy won't be about the games she played. It'll be about the ones she walked away from. And for a player who once had the league at her fingertips, that's the most shocking twist of all.